Hi everybody, it's Olivia, Rosalie. Okay, so I want to take about 10 minutes and tell you my story over the last 8 years. In 2003, I had Willie, and I really wanted to lose weight after I had him, and I knew I needed to. I wanted to lose weight before I found out I was pregnant, and then, well. And so, I know my highest with Willie was I was 280 when I delivered him, and by the time I started my journey, by the time that I had Willie, I was 280, and I read the Dr. Phil book, and I joined a club, and I was 340. By the time I'd lost 85 pounds in about a year. I maintained it for a year and a half, and then I wanted to have AJ. Life happened, family members being sick, and it was life. And I needed to live. I'd been physically trying to lose weight and doing my thing for 2 years. I was bored. I was bored. And then I gained 50 pounds before I conceived. And by the time I had him, I know 3 weeks beforehand, I was about 385. So we're going to say I was about 400 pounds when I had him. And then I did what I was going to do. I went back to Weight Watchers after my 8 weeks were up. I physically went back to Weight Watchers. I went from the 400 to 400. I went from the 400 to somewhere in the 340 range, and I got down to about 310. And then June 6th happened of 2008. And it changed my life for a year. I had a car accident with the kids. I was rear-ended. She hit the gas instead of the brake. Right outside a cop. Cop was at the stoplight. I was out of the car waving my hands, and he finally saw me. And I had a bulging disc. I had pain all the time. I could barely move. I'm required to do 15 hours of work a week. And I was lucky if I managed to get through 8 in 3 shifts. I was that bad. By January, I was doing Vicodin every day. I was going to the pain clinic, so you had to physically pee in a cup. All kinds of things. But the one thing I didn't do was watch what I put in my mouth. So I went from 310 to that day on my daughter's birthday, realizing I was 370 pounds again, and biggest I've ever been. Not pregnant. I was horrified. Within 5 minutes, I was on the Weight Watchers website. I printed out the monthly pass, and it was done. I went the next morning. I was 370, and over that 10-week period, over the first 10 weeks, I lost about 20 pounds, and then I bounced between 20 and 24 pounds for 6 weeks. And that's when I got mad at myself because I wasted 6 weeks. That's about all you can say is I wasted 6 weeks. And I looked back at what I did when I had Willie, and I reread the Dr. Phil book. I physically weighed myself every day, which is not a good idea, but it worked for me in 2005, and that's what I did. And then I started walking because I joined the club, and I knew I was doing about 45 minutes and then 15 minutes home. So I put my shoes on, no matter how hard it hurt. I walked 1 hour around the block, down to the Kingdom Hall and back. I eventually started going all the way downtown, which is a mile down over, and back up. By the time I actually realized it, I was doing 3 miles. When it was raining, when it was cold, I did my walk away with pounds. When it got to October and I was in that 3 mile stage, I was horrified when I had to sit on that treadmill for 70 minutes to do 3 miles. And I always tried to make myself better. By the last time I was on the treadmill, because my knees got so bad I had to stop, I was down to 40 minutes. So I was doing everything I could, and I was having fun with it because I was always challenging myself. Okay, and I was following and the other thing I did is I was spot on with my food. If it wasn't good for me, I was not eating it. So then the goal for Weight Watchers changed a little bit because of the injury, and I ended up reaching my original goal at 265 March 23rd. It was a month late. I also changed my Weight Watchers goal to 285, which the doctor was fine, and it was mental. It wasn't that I wasn't going to get 265, it was just completely mental with having the injury. So that's when the plateau hit, which the endocrinologist wasn't surprised I plateaued. And I kind of got comfortable because I was 265. That was my ultimate goal. And I stayed there for a little while. And that's when I found my Beachbody stuff. That's when I started my Turbo Jam. I did that for 6 weeks. And then I found Chalene Extreme, which was weight training. And for me, not knowing anything about how to lift a weight was great because it spelled it out. I was still walking. I walked through at least 2/3 of the program, and then everything got so much harder, and my knees got so bad because I was doing lunges and squats and this and that. So I gave up the walking, and that's when my walking itself stopped. And during my first round of the Chalene Extreme, I lost 30 pounds. I went, got really skinny for me, and then Turbo Fire came out. And I did some crazy things. I was doing both workouts, full programs, plus some. And I put my body in starvation mode. And I know I did. And it is what it is. This year, I physically stayed I stayed right around 240. Give or take, I just stayed right around 240. And it was what it was. This year, I've switched things up. I've changed the weight training regimen. I wasn't doing it 3 times a week. I was doing 2 times a week. Or just trying to change it up, and the weight just comes back 10 pounds at a time. I was horrified about 3 weeks ago when the scale was at 295. We did everything. I started with week 1, and I'm going for it. And I'm still down 6-something from week 1, which in 4 weeks, 6 pounds, I'm not going to complain. So I'm going to follow the new program like I did originally and take one step at a time and 1 pound at a time. And I know that it will happen. Be as good as possible. Get to the point where nothing tastes as good as me just having that goal again. I also, and you know, everybody that I've known, there's a lot of people. I mean, I know so many people that are on this journey, and everybody has their moments where they gain. Most of the time, it's only 10 or 20 pounds. It's always my luck to be the 50-pound girl, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm out of the 290s. We said bye to them, and they're not coming back. So now we're working on getting out of the 280s. We're going to say bye to them one more time, and it's never going to back. My goal has always been to get to 199. And after everything I've been through with this journey, knowing where I was, how horribly I was frustrated and unhappy with being in the 230s and the 240s and the 250s because nothing was happening. And then I sit where I am now. I do just about anything to be back there. But the good news for me is after gaining the little bit that I've had, I'm still down 120 pounds. After gaining the bit that I've had, granted I'd be down 170, but after the gaining that I've had, if I never hit that 199 and I'm stuck in the 230s, I'm an 18, I can tone as much as I want to, I'm okay with that. And I don't think I would ever say that. But I'm okay with that. There's also a lot of things going on in the life. I'm learning things about me and this journey, and I'm getting ready to do the ADD testing, which I know the ADD is there. I don't know if the ADHD is there, but Willie has it, Becky has it. I'm sure I do. My doctor knows me well enough where I finally just said, okay, if Becky's got it, I need to fix me. Because Becky is me. Just a little version. And her temper is my temper, but my temper is a lot more subdued because I'm older and I know better. So he started me on the Adderall. I'm going to make the appointment make the appointment to see the psychologist, get the testing done, be done and over with it within a month, and we'll know where to go with the dosage of the Adderall. And we also both agreed, because nobody can figure out why my body wasn't losing. I mean, I was in the 230s for a year. Working out, eating right. I mean, you get frustrated and you lose faith. I mean, I try very hard to not have it break my heart. I guess is the best thing. I try very, very hard, and I have to keep that belief that anything's possible, and I can get there. I just have to work my butt off to do it. And with the Adderall, if it helps me get the weight off, that's good. Because once I get there, I'll have less weight on my knees. I should be able to easily get the right calorie burn together and just go for it. And it's all about getting there. So there you have it. There's me over the last 5 years. And the one thing that I've learned over the whole thing with when I lost weight, which I didn't even talk about when I lost weight when I was 22. I went to Subway. I did the Subway diet before Jared even did it. But I only lost 70 pounds, not 200 and something. But the biggest part of it is, I did it. When I had Becky, I gained 100 pounds. When I had Willie, I gained 100 pounds. When I had AJ, I gained 130. But I know I'm a bad pregnant woman, and we know AJ was my last, and we know they're not going to be another. I know that the one thing that's been missing the whole time is the lifestyle change. So we know the lifestyle change needs to be consistent, and it's got to, when you do the lifestyle change, it has to be all the time. You can't get bored like I did in 2005 and had AJ. I could have very easily maintained, but I didn't watch what I ate. When I had the car accident, I didn't watch what I eat, and look at where it got me. So we know that the lifestyle change has to happen. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for anybody. It's hard. You saw very raw emotions in me today, and I don't normally show my emotions in that way. But this is my journey, and I'm sharing it with all of you, and I'm as real as I am, because it isn't easy. But I know it's possible, and I've proven that it's possible, and I know I change lives every day. So just remember, if the one thing you take out of this video, do not make the same mistake I did 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. As many times as I made it was the lifestyle change. Something's going on with my body. We're going to try and fix it. And I'm glad you guys are all going to be there to watch me. I love you all. Enjoy the slideshow. I'm going to put a couple before and after pictures. And I'll talk to you guys next week.